You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Battle Strategies with Green Irene here on the Pace Radio Network. Sharing strategies that combine the curative powers of cannabis, the healing suggestibility of hypnosis, and the power of neuro-linguistic programming to help you help you. Control chronic pain and fatigue, eliminate negative patterns of resolve, and build a brighter, healthier, happier you, starting now. Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Green Irene. I'm an author, a researcher, a cannabis enthusiast, medicinal and recreational user. I am a certified and trained practicing hypnotherapist, neurolinguistic programming practitioner, and medicinal cannabis consultant. The information that I share throughout this series is, for all intent purposes, a summary of my studies and research notes on the subject as I have come to understand the topic and can relate it. More information can always be found on my website at www.greenirene.ca. Information is power, and cannabis may not be the cure-all that saves mankind, though in some capacities it is capable. Many facts about cannabis are prevailing over the fallacies perpetuated during the Prohibition era. And the curative qualities of cannabis, mind, body, and soul, are making mainstream conversation, and everyone seems to have some enlightened views about its use and consumption. That said, let's get on with today's episode. And welcome back. Glad you made it back. Before the break, we were talking about how hypnosis and NLP and cannabis all contribute to the therapy of treating chronic pain. But we didn't actually look at what hypnotherapy is and how to use it specifically. So let's take a look at what hypnotherapy is, what it involves, pardon me, and how it can make a significant difference for chronic pain patients such as yourself. You'll no doubt have heard of hypnosis, and there's a really good chance you might have even seen some dramatic hypnosis on stage or TV. Don't worry. There's no reason for concern. Real hypnosis is not about making you act like a fool or in a way that is out of your control. Real clinical hypnotherapy is a safe, relaxing way to address psychological problems and physical problems. It enables you to implement more positive thoughts and coping strategies so that you can be your best you. You simply retrain your brain and create the change that crafts a brighter tomorrow. If you're tired of battling behaviors and bad habits, or you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and if you're fed up with feeling like your happiness is being held hostage by chronic pain, anxiety, or depression, then hypnosis combined with NLP techniques and cannabinoid treatments is certainly the triage that you're looking for. Now, hypnotic or trance-like states have been used to treat physical and mental health since ancient times. The Egyptians used dream temples, while the Greeks used sleep temples, otherwise known as hypnos, to treat the ill health of people. Evidence of hypnosis techniques can actually be found in the Bible dating as far back as 1500 BC. Now, from there, hypnosis continued to be used and developed. In 1841, the term hypnosis was first used by a Scottish ophthalmologist named James Braid. He started to realize that hypnosis was psychological rather than anything mystical. And since then, hypnosis has been researched and developed scientifically. In the present day, it's being used to treat a wide variety of health problems, including and especially successfully with chronic pain. James Braid's work was specifically instrumental. Hypnosis makes use of the mind-body connection. Understanding how our thoughts and feelings can influence our physical health, just as our physical health can influence our mental health, hypnotherapy uses relaxation and visualization techniques to guide you into a state of deeper peacefulness. Similar, sort of, to mindfulness meditations. Now, the brain lets go of distractions and becomes more focused. When you're in a hypnotic state, your pulse and respiration rate slows down. Your brain starts to produce more alpha brainwaves. Alpha brainwaves indicate relaxation, positive mood, reduced anxiety, and increased creativity. Now, when you're in this hypnotic state, you are less inhibited. You're more likely to be able to access memories and face problems that you might have been avoiding or address feelings that you may have been bottling up. You're also more open to suggestion. There was a 2019 study, a study done in 2019 that defined hypnosis as a waking state of awareness or consciousness in which a person's attention is detached from his or her immediate environment and is absorbed by inner experiences such as feelings, cognition, and imagery. During hypnotherapy, the therapist can help you to address and solve problems. They can guide you through replacing negative thoughts with your positive ones. They can aid you in seeing how you can change your behaviors to live well and better cope with your situations. The hypnotherapist may use imagery, I know I use it often, and ask you to visualize specific situations or scenes in order to help guide you towards your goals. I'll also ask you to speak during the hypnosis and ask you to interact just to make sure that we get to the root of the problems. Now, the use of imagery is very important during a state of deep relaxation like hypnosis. The right side of our brain is being activated more dominantly than the left side. The right side of our brain is like our unconscious mind, the part which is more emotional and creative, while the left side of our conscious mind, the part which is more logical, the right side of our brain responds to imagery and symbols, as this study explains. Therefore, using imagery helps us to really engage with that side of the brain in this hypnotic state. Now, research shows that when someone is imagining something during a hypnotic state, the same areas of the brain are being activated as if the person was actually in that situation. Mirror neurons in our brains activate when we're imagining actions or if we're watching other people perform actions. So the use of imagery is very powerful with many potential uses, and this is the basis for graded motor imagery, which is a therapy which uses visualization to train the brain away from pain. Hypnosis can be used to address mental illness such as anxiety, to deal with the previous trauma, and to provide relief from any physical health issues in that state. Now, furthermore, people vary in how they will respond to hypnosis and how open they are to hypnotic suggestion. Patients who are fairly suggestible under hypnosis can show improvements in pain relief. This applies to the majority of us. However, there are those who are highly suggestible who will have greater relief from pain, which is longer lasting. How responsive we are to hypnosis will depend on many factors, including our motivation to manage our pain and individual personality traits. Rather than trying to reduce the pain itself, hypnosis for chronic pain is often more focused on acceptance of your chronic pain, with the aim of reducing fear and anxiety around it. Our perceptions of pain can greatly influence our pain levels and how we manage it. If we're fearful, this can often lead to us avoiding situations we perceive might worsen our pain, known as fear avoidance. This avoidance can, in fact, worsen our symptoms over time. Hypervigilance is very common in pain patients, and that basically means that patients become extremely aware of painful sensations, and this focus on pain makes the pain worse. It can often lead to pain catastrophizing, meaning patients are worrying about their pain excessively, just way too much. Now, these negative perceptions and emotions about chronic pain can reinforce to our brain that it needs to continue producing pain messages, and therefore it perpetuates the pain cycle, quite possibly even worsening it. They can also be very distressing feelings to live with. By addressing these negative emotions and reducing fear, a patient's quality of life can be vastly improved and their pain levels considerably reduced. Some patients may benefit from hypnotherapy sessions which replace self-doubt and feelings of helplessness with feelings of confidence and empowerment. In this case, I usually guide you through visualizing situations which you usually find difficult and pain-inducing. For example, I may help you to replace the expectation of pain and the feeling that you're not able to do anything about it with a feeling of being pain-free and taking control of the situation. Now, this type of session can actually help you to understand that you can do something about chronic pain and that things can improve. Now, some hypnosis sessions focus on inducing an analgesic effect. This means that they use suggestions of being pain-free, having reduced pain, or having increased functioning to help you or patients reduce your pain levels. This pain relief technique is known as hypnoanalgesia, and it's been utilized for many pain scenarios with success. In fact, James Braid used this this treatment or technique in particular to perform surgeries during World War II. There was a couple of studies and in-depth studies done on hypnoanalgesia, which explains that it's been highly effective in treating many types of acute and chronic pain, including chronic oncological pain, HIV, neuropathic pain, pain during extraction of molars, pain associated to physical trauma, pain in surgical procedures, etc., 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 etc. Some sessions may actually focus on forgetting past negative memories of pain, effectively trying to retrain the brain to forget that certain situations should cause pain. Now, some therapists choose to use imagery to replace the sensation of pain with more pleasant sensations such as warmth. And I do this sometimes. For example, during hypnosis, I may ask you to imagine warmth in the place of pain from now on. And any time that you feel that pain could be a suggestion that I propose while you're in a state of hypnosis. I may incorporate the concept regularly in sessions until it becomes a habit, which happens in your day-to-day life without you even thinking about it. And this could help your brain to break the association between certain painful movements or situations, and in turn help you to break free of the chronic pain cycle. Now, since hypnotherapy can put you in a highly relaxed state, it can help to reduce stress levels and break the stress and pain cycle. So things like muscle tension can be eased and stiffness reduced. If hypnotherapy is engaged in regularly, this reduction in stress can markedly improve chronic pain symptoms. This type of hypnoanalgesia session can actually have fantastic results for pain patients, as many testimonials prove that I've received. So, going on, hypnotherapy sessions which focus on changing pain beliefs and reducing pain sensations through hypnoanalgesia have actually been shown to have most positive outcomes. So when therapists such as myself work on reducing the physical sensation of pain and we build a more positive, helpful perception of pain, chronic pain patients show significant improvements, and there are plenty of studies to prove it. Some have shown that as much as 70% of chronic pain patients find their pain and other symptoms are reduced. It's important to remember that unlike common misconceptions, at no point during hypnotherapy are you ever out of control of your own body and mind. You can stop and open your eyes at any time. You can say no, and you are completely in control. Rather than being scary, the experience should be relaxing, and the hypnotic state itself will feel different for everybody. But generally, it's described as being a very pleasant, trance-like calm state. And once the session is finished, the therapist, such as myself, will gradually guide you through opening your eyes and becoming readjusted to your surroundings. Typically, we'll give you a few minutes to regain your alertness and then walk you through the session, asking you how it went and how you felt about it. I'll often make adjustments the following time once you've expressed anything that you felt worked particularly well for you. Now, in between, you may be given some recommendations to do some self-hypnosis, and audios may be provided for you. Now, once your sessions have ended, hypnosis often has lasting results for patients, and some patients may choose to continue their hypnotherapy in their own time at home by listening to the recordings. In most cases, chronic pain and hypnotherapy is effective inside of the first 4 to 6 appointments, and that is all that is required. Hypnotherapy may not be suitable for everyone, but it is a very effective way to reduce chronic pain for most. Rather than being scary or magical, hypnotherapy is a scientifically proven way to use the mind-body connection to treat health conditions. NLP, by the very same token, often involves a trance-like state, using guided imagery and visualization so you can create compelling and helpful pictures in your mind, in your own language. This is so that you can create change in your internal experience. And pain is something that is an internal experience. So creating a new picture of this pain or discomfort can actually help map across and create a new shift of the sensory experience. The successful way to do this is to create first the color of your pain, the size that you would see the pain. Does it have an angry voice? What temperature is it? And this gives it a strong visual element. Creating this visualization activates ideas, and to be free from the pain, this must be an idea first. Now, research shows that visualization works to create a physical change. When we visualize wound healing, headache stopping, or pain melting away, clients can actually step into the visualization that they created to create the change. Now, by creating this picture of pain that shows that you can create a picture of something that you do not want, this demonstrates that you can also create a picture of something that you do want. Right? Okay. You then create a picture of the color of comfort. The size of the picture can be smaller so you can create comfort. If the pain was moving or tense, it can be soft and smooth. It can have sensations of a massage or beautiful sounds or a soothing voice. These changes in the submodalities of the picture show that you can create a shift that changes the experience from pain and discomfort to being free from pain and having comfort. Thus, by creating new pictures, you can actually easily and effortlessly have a life that you want. This is something that you'd want to do, isn't it? So this will then be stored in your unconscious mind, because this is where any learning changes in behavior and new habits are formed. Another technique that you can use is to lay down or sit down and imagine yourself relaxing. Use your imagination so you can be free from pain, so that you can learn to control your body and mind and feel comfortable. Run a quick scan on your body and ask your unconscious mind where the most comfortable spot on your body is. This could be anywhere from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. You can then give this comfortable spot a soothing color, soothing sounds, calming sensations, and any other visuals or sensory experiences you want to create. Once you have this comfortable spot, you can imagine this comfort you've created going throughout your whole body. This comfort melts away any discomfort. This shows you can create feelings as well as visualizations anytime that you want to control pain. And finally, cannabis. Okay, so cannabis. Bottom line is the internet is rife with the best of lists on which strains are going to be best for chronic pain. And while they can be helpful as a place for patients to get started, it really is important to know that almost none of these lists are based on any sort of scientific study. They're all anecdotal, and everybody experiences cannabis differently. It really, you have to find what works for you. So again, I recommend having a journal. Volume 1 of the Cannabis Consumption Companion, or the Bud Buddy by myself, is available on Amazon, and you can get it there. Importantly, the most important thing is cannabis is a highly individual experience. And further to that, there is a multitude of different types of chronic pain, from inflammatory to migraine to cancer, and a whole laundry list in between. It's incredibly challenging, if not entirely impossible, to create a top 10 list of the best strains for cannabis when there's just so much individual variation between people and types of pain. So without robust and well-controlled studies, how do you get started looking for the best strains? Well, the most accurate suggestions actually come from the surveys and session reports. They, of course they have their limitations, but they are really helpful in that they come from other people as well that are using cannabis for chronic pain. And, that often provides inspiration for other patients. Ultimately, the best strain to stop chronic pain is going to depend on you. Whatever works best for you is going to work best for you. And undoubtedly, self-experimentation, careful titration are going to be needed to match the strain with the type of chronic pain that you're suffering from. Now, with these caveats out of the way, if you experience chronic pain, you might be curious about which strains provide the most benefit based on patient surveys. Notably, many have a well-balanced cannabinoid profile with relatively even THC to CBD ratios. Some of the strains that I found most popular are, the Royal Purple Kush. This is a hugely popular strain in the treatment for chronic pain, and any of the purples for that matter. Granddaddy Purple, Purple Project, etc. It's a highly potent option, and if you have a high tolerance to THC, definitely go with the Royal Purple Kush. Another one is OG Shark. It was, I believe OG Shark contains 21-ish 21 to 24% THC, and less than 1% CBD. But it really is great for arthritis. I found OG Shark to be fantastic for treating arthritis. Now then there's, CBDs. And different house blends contain different levels of CBDs. One of my favorites is Harlequin. Another is Sweet Skunk CBD for arthritic pain because it really works. It's about 8 to 10% THC and about 11 to 13% CBD, which is awesome. Dream Queen is the second most effective strain reported on my list of treatment for chronic pain. And LA Confidential hit the list, and you're getting the idea. You want a nice balanced blend. In one of the most extensive reviews to date, the National Academies of Science reported that cannabis was an effective treatment for chronic pain. In a publication called The Health Effects of Cannabis and Cannabinoids, the Current State of Evidence and Recommendations for Research, reviewers concluded that in adults with chronic pain, patients who were treated with cannabis or cannabinoids are much more likely to experience a clinically significant reduction in their pain symptoms. In just about every single patient survey on medical cannabis use, people consistently report pain as a primary condition treated. Also, if the reports are true, patients in states with legal access or countries with legal access genuinely favor cannabis for pain over opiates. Yay! Effectively based on the hard science and the growing patient reports, it seems evident that cannabis is an effective treatment for certain types of chronic pain. Two types in particular have gotten the attention of researchers, and that's the neuropathic and pain related to MS. It has the most extensive studies, but there's probably going to be a place for cannabis medicine and many other types of chronic pain as more and more research becomes available. Significantly, the treatment of chronic pain is moving away from traditional ideas towards cannabis-based medicines, and it is fascinating to see where this research is taking us. On that note, there are different methods of consumption that you can use. Inhalation will provide the fastest, quickest relief within 10 to 30 seconds, though smoking is the most wasteful and ineffective way. That's combustion. It's better to vape your cannabis using a digital vaporizer such as the Volcano or Storz & Bickel the Mighty. You can also use topicals, which are really good for localized surface type pain and inflammation. I use it often on my knees, and I talk about this in a variety of other shows. For more information related to today's show, please visit my website at www.greenirene.ca. Also, if you would like to book an appointment with me, either for a hypnotherapy session or for a battle strategy session, let's find out how to create a plan for you that helps you help you. Or you just want to talk to me and find out what kind of things, what options are available to you? What kind of things can you do? Definitely book an appointment through the website at www.greenirene.ca. And on that note, I want to say thank you very kindly for tuning in today. This is Battle Strategies with Green Irene here on the Pace Radio Network. Broadcasting live every Friday and airing several times throughout the week on CBG TV.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network.